Hello there, I'm Legendary Miss, and I want to talk about Capcom's up-and-coming Street Fighter 6 and what characters I would like make it into the game. As we're all aware that Street Fighter 5 has finally and officially come to an end, and the newly announced Street Fighter 6 just around the corner, I thought this would be the perfect time to make a video like this. I will be excluding characters along the likes of Ryu, Chun-Li, Kami, and Ken, as they're basically the face and staple characters of the franchise, and they're practically expected to show up in the game. Enough said, now let's begin. Number 10, Elena. First introduced in Street Fighter 3 New Generation, Elena has grown a significant amount of fans who want to see her return in the newly installed Street Fighter 6. Elena was sent by her tribe, including her father, to join the Street Fighter tournament. She happily obliged as she wanted to explore and meet new people. She would further set this goal of venturing around the world to other countries, making friends along the way. Which is ridiculous to make friends with everybody, but the girl literally made friends with Akuma, which is crazy within itself. I would love to see the return of Elena in Street Fighter 6 and how she'd be implemented. And plus, we need capoeiras back.
You got strong! Better than last time, Elena. I'm proud.
Number 9, THawk. Making his first appearance in 1993 Super Street Fighter 2, Thunderhawk, of Mexican native descent, had his tribe stolen by M. Bison, which led him to exile. THawk would set himself a mission to hunt down Bison in order to gain his homeland back. I always love the inclusion of native characters in video games, especially fighting games. We don't have enough of them. They bring something very unique to the table. I'd love to see the return of THawk in Street Fighter 6, as well as many other fans. Number 8, Juri Han.
Well then, where do you want me to break you first?
Now only add Juri onto this list because I do not want Street Fighter 6 to make the same mistake Street Fighter 5 did. They added Juri as a DLC character in that game when she was directly from Street Fighter 4. It just didn't make sense. As one of the newcomers who made her debut in Street Fighter 4, she has quickly risen up to be one of the most popular characters in the franchise. With one of the coolest backstories, Juri lost her left eye along with her parents by the hands of Shadowloo, which would lead her to the path of revenge. She seeks help from a mystery man named Seth, who ultimately grants her the power called the Feng Shui Engine, which is implanted in her missing left eye, which grants her unbelievable supernatural abilities, making her deadlier than she already was. I personally love the character of Juri and how sadistic she is. I would love to see her in every iteration of Street Fighter going forward.
People are worthless. But you're worth even less.
She's basically the counterpick to Chun-Li, both having lost once by the same man. Juri finds a way to deal with this how she sees fit, by her own rules.
I gotta say, you guys sure know how to keep a girl entertained. See ya!
Number 7, Eagle. Being one of the first Street Fighter characters alongside Ryu, Eagle made his first debut in 1987's original Street Fighter. Although not playable at the time, he would later become playable in Capcom vs SNK 2 and Street Fighter Alpha 3. He's one of the few fighters that rarely kicks and has a long rivalry with Sagat. Being only playable in 2 entries, I would love to see what a modern take of the character would be in Street Fighter 6. Number 6, Nakali. Now hear me out on this one. I know basically everybody wants this character gone because of how, unappealing he plays and how shitty he is in the story mode. But if Capcom completely erased the character of Nakali, then what was the point of Street Fighter V, as he was literally the poster boy for the beginning of the game's lifespan along with Ryu? It seemed like they had an idea for the character, but looked like they didn't know what direction to go with, so it was ultimately most likely scrapped. He has such a cool design, literally an ancient being, and nothing was done with him. He showed up in the story mode for a brief amount of time, and every time he had a cutscene, he would get his ass beat 24/7 by literally everybody. It's sort of like a MK11 Chronica situation, where these ultimate powerful beings need equipment to be as powerful as they say they are. I just personally want Nakali to be back in Street Fighter 6, honestly. Justice needs to be done for the character.
Nakali wins.
Number 5. Makoto. Trained the art of karate by her father, Makoto was very skilled within the martial arts at a very young age. Makoto would be taught these skills under a dojo owned by her father. Sadly, her father would pass away, leaving her and the dojo with no one to fund it. She seeks help from her older brother, who is fairly wealthy, but is not interested to fund into the dojo, which leads Makoto on the path to becoming rich by entering the Street Fighter tournament. Although she did not win the tournament, Makoto found other ways to make money to maintain her father's dojo and legacy. Makoto was one of the most requested characters in Street Fighter V, but sadly didn't make it into the game, and is even requested more than ever with the arrival of Street Fighter 6, with large amount of fans wanting her to make her return. I'm very interested to see how she'd be played. I always got her and Sakura mixed up when I was younger. Her cocky attitude is personally why I want her in the game, and who could forget her iconic super move? Number 4. Oni. The superior version of Akuma, Oni is literally the embodiment of the raging demon. Similar to Ryu, where if he pushes his limits out of rage, he could become consumed by the Satomi no Hara, which is an entity not of this world named Evil Ryu, or even his shadow self, Kage. This is slightly different for Akuma, as he's already been consumed by the Satomi no Hara, learning how to control it and use its power. Although it's been heavily applied, if Akuma uses the Hara to its maximum, that he'd become a vicious, ruthless, merciless entity known as Oni, who only knows death. Akuma's already as deadly as they come, but knowing that he could unlock something greater and more ancient that loses all self of humanity is something I'd like to see implemented in Street Fighter 6. But I'd like Akuma to enter this form in gameplay other than having a whole separate slot for the character. Number 3. Sea Viper. Another highly requested character who gained her popularity when she first debuted in Street Fighter 4. She was questionably absent for Street Fighter 5, making only minor appearances here and there, but leaving many scratching their heads on why she wasn't playable. Especially when she was so popular they even included her in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Now, I myself don't know much about Sea Viper. I do know that she is a mother who was undercover as a bad guy but turned out to be a secret agent for the CIA. What I love about Sea Viper is her self-made gadgets, with the ability of flight with her heels and electricity along with fire, making her gameplay already unique from the rest. I'd love to see how she'd be incorporated in Street Fighter 6.
There's only one like it, and it's mine. There's a lot at stake here. I'll do what I have to win.
Cammy, wait!
Number 2, Feilong. Another character making his first appearance in Super Street Fighter 2 as one of the 4 legacy newcomers. Feilong is directly inspired by legendary martial arts icon Bruce Lee. I don't know much about Feilong, but I think his backstory is similar to Bruce Lee, as he too likes to star in action role martial arts movies. I personally feel like a fighting game is not complete without a Bruce Lee character, not just because of the legacy Bruce Lee left behind, but the many generations he inspired afterwards. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Bruce Lee does exist within the Street Fighter universe, as Feilong Bruce Lee mentions him, which is fairly interesting, as Bruce Lee also exists within the Dare Life universe. Bringing me to the conclusion that Feilong should definitely be added in Street Fighter 6.
You win!
Number 1, Mackie. Mackie Genryusei, otherwise known as Mackie, made her first debut appearance in the classic beat-em-up action game Final Fight 2 in 1993. Mackie is basically the female version of her childhood friend, Guy, who is also in the same ninja clan as her, the Bush and Ryu ninja clan. Guy, who made his first debut appearance in the original 1989 Final Fight, is the fiancé of Mackie's older sister, Elena, who was once kidnapped by the Mad Gear Gang, which led to Mackie calling the mayor of Metro City, Mike Haggard, and some random guy named Carlos helped along as well. Both Cody and Guy from the original Final Fight would be replaced in its sequel by Mackie and Carlos to fight alongside Mike Haggard. Mackie would make her first proper Street Fighter appearance in 1998 Street Fighter Alpha 3 and her last in-game appearance in 2001 Capcom vs SNK 2, yes, the same game the legendary Chun-Li and Mai Shiranui is in. This character has been gone for so long, and I would love to see her come back in the upcoming Street Fighter 6 game. I'm a sucker for ninja characters, and I have to say, the hypest DLC character I'm looking forward to at this point is Mackie. That's it for this list. Now, I'm not saying every character I mentioned here should make it into Street Fighter 6, but I'd like to see some in the near future. Like, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed or found anything I said here slightly amusing. Other than that, I'm out. Peace.